Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Rahayu, salam kebajikan, dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semuanya. Honorable Minister Hadi Cahyanto, Minister of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning, Mr. Tomonori Sang from MLIT Japan, Pak Bruno from UN Habitat, Ibu Valerie, UN Residence Coordinator for Indonesia. Selamat pagi, Ohayo gozaimasu, and a very good morning to all of you. And it is a great pleasure for me to join all of you today in the first international conference hosted by the Nusantara Capital Authority. So this is the first one, I guess, after we have been set up for about 10 months right now. We are a very young organization, but this is the first international conference that we hold. So please. I would like to thank and also appreciate Pak Hadi Cahyanto, the Minister, and the Ministry of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning staff, the Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs of Indonesia, MLIT of Government of Japan, the UN Habitat, the UN Resident Coordinators, and also colleagues from Indonesia Association for Planners for collaborating with us in co-organizing this event. Today, I would like to discuss and share Indonesia's effort to develop our new capital, Nusantara, and how it will impact not only locally but also globally. Many of you had the opportunity yesterday to visit the site and also observe the development progress firsthand. So let me use this opportunity to share some fundamental principles behind this development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by sharing some basic facts about Nusantara. As you must be aware by now, Nusantara is in a different island from our current capital, Jakarta. This is rather unique, as the moving of all other national capitals in different countries are still within the same landmass. In the case of Indonesia, this move aims to bolster Indonesia's domestic value chain and also promote a more equitable development throughout the country. It is important to note that this task of creating a new city is not a standalone project or program, but this is a critical component of a bigger journey toward achieving Indonesia 2045 or Indonesia 2045 visions. The visions aims to create inclusive economic and social growth in Indonesia as a requirement to be a high-income country. I'm pleased to note that Nusantara's vision is in line with the principle of the new urban agenda adopted at the UN Habitat 3 conference in Quito, Ecuador in 2016. Beyond that, the development of Nusantara reflects Indonesia's determinations to make tangible contributions to at least 3 global campaigns. First, Nusantara wants to join the global agenda in conserving biodiversity by rejuvenating the rich flora and fauna of Kalimantan. We are working closely with several organizations to develop Nusantara Nature Positive Plan, which will guide us in creating a sustainable forest city. Secondly, we want to join the global movement in aligning the city's development with the SDGs. As mentioned by Valerie a while ago, Nusantara is currently preparing our VLR, Voluntary Local Review, and will track the SDG progress in the city. The third and last point, which I will discuss more later, is our effort to play an active role in the global campaigns against the climate change. It is worth noting that Nusantara has recently established a committee on ESG, or Environment, Social, and Governance. We are the first city in Indonesia to have such a committee at the city level. This independent committee advises us on aligning the city's planning and decision-making process with ESG principles, and therefore contributing to the city's sustainability and also credibility. The ESG Committee of Nusantara is chaired by Professor Renald Kasari, who is a very prominent leader in this area. To allow us to conduct such ambitious campaign, Nusantara receives solid support from national and international institutions, including some of the UN agencies. So my high appreciations to all the UN agencies that support and back us up in this journey. These institutions see Nusantara as a living laboratory that provides them with an opportunity to generate new knowledge in addressing to the global challenges. In this regard, I am pleased to note that 13 UN agencies have expressed their intentions to support the development of Nusantara. Please give us a warm applause. The total area of Nusantara includes a land area of more than 256,000 hectares. This is 4 times larger than the current capital of Jakarta and 3.5 times larger than Singapore, or even slightly larger than Tokyo. Out of this, only around 25% will be developed as a built-up urban areas. And in developing Nusantara, the authority is guided by multiple references, including the recently enacted law on the national capital city. We are currently updating various regulations to align them with the changes introduced in this new law, including the city's strategic area spatial plan and its detailed spatial plans. For this, we are extremely grateful. Bapak Menteri, terima kasih banyak of the support of Ministry of Agrarian Affairs and Spatial Planning. All the continued support and all the appreciations goes to the team for their support to Nusantara city's planning process. And as part of this planning process, we have designated the area into 9 economic generators, as you can see on these figures. These generators will ensure that Nusantara develop its industry based on its expected competitive advantage. They include, for example, on the economic and financial center in the west, renewable energy area in the south, and innovation and research area in the east. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the development of Nusantara will be held in several phases, and it will last until 2045. But personally, I believe that it will go beyond 2045 because the dynamic and the needed and the demand of the urban resident will also evolve after that year. The timeline is generally consistent with the typical time needed for developing cities, which can take decades to reach the maturity. We are currently in the first phases, which is the phase for establishing the key infrastructure and facilities in the government's core area. While the full development of Nusantara will take over 2 decades, by next year, 2024, we aim to build a fully functional ecosystem within an area of around 1,000 hectares only. This ecosystem will include not only the President Palace and government offices, but also essential services such as schools, hospitals, markets, department stores, and also entertainment facilities. It will subsequently serve as the model for Nusantara further development beyond 2024. The key feature of Nusantara is that the city is designed to be a smart and sustainable forest city. I believe the concept of sustainable forest city is the first in the world. This concept is made possible as 65% of the land area will be transformed from a production forest, some of you saw this one yesterday, into a tropical forest. The creation of the tropical forest is done through the reforestation process to rejuvenate and preserve the ecology. The forest area also provides the city with nature-based solutions that will reduce the risk of flooding and act as a carbon sink. The city will also employ other innovative approaches, such as sponge city, so the city can absorb, clean, and reuse the rainwater. With all these features, Nusantara aims to be a carbon neutral city by 2045. This is ahead of Indonesia's national net zero target by 2060. I'm happy to share that Nusantara will launch its net zero strategy and pathway in the next COP28 in next month, December, in Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, what will be Nusantara look like 20 years from now? That's one question that I often receive from the audience. Yesterday, you visited our technology house, and so I hope it gives you a glimpse of what the future will be like in the city. The city intelligent infrastructure will incorporate features such as advanced air mobility, autonomous mobile drones, and robots to enhance the logistics system. It will also offer autonomous on-demand public transport for convenient travel. In terms of environmental sustainability, Nusantara innovative features aim to create a high-quality, regenerative built environment that aligns with the principle of a circular economy. This approach is designed to have an overall positive impact on the environment. Now let me update you on the development at the site. Again, yesterday you have seen, some of you, that the construction of the Presidential Palace is about 50% complete. We have also completed the ministerial offices and the city's main axis, which will connect these offices with shopping malls and other amenities. In other parts of the city, a dam will supply the raw water to Nusantara residents. To support the reforestations, we are also building several plants nurseries. One nursery in Mentawir area produces around 20 million plants every year. We will use these plants to transform Nusantara from a productive forest that you saw yesterday into a tropical forest. Let me note that we are not only constructing buildings. I believe a city should not only be livable, but also must be lovable. To make a city livable and lovable, three basic components must coexist, namely economic competitiveness, environmental sustainability, and also social inclusiveness. And one important element of being inclusive is the integrations between newcomers and also the existing residents. We have been working with the communities, universities, and other government agencies to do reskilling and also upskilling of the residents, including on the use of new technology. The skills will allow them to participate actively in the development of Nusantara and benefit from it. Distinguished guests, honorables, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me emphasize that the opportunity for planners to engage in a city planning from scratch like this is very rare. Therefore, I extend an invitation for you to join us on this knowledge journey. Your expertise, experience, and networks are invaluable as we strive to develop a world-class city that is welcoming to everyone. I hope you agree with me that Nusantara is not just another city building project, but also an effort to create a model city that is green, that is smart, that is inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. The construction of the city is not only about transforming Indonesia, it is also about inspiring the world with new ways to live more sustainably, while allowing us to tackle all the global challenges. I wish you a fruitful discussion, and thank you very much for all your attention. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bapak Bambang Susantono, for the keynote speech.